The views and opinions expressed by the On the Spot with David Rodgers show are solely based on the show's hosts, guests, and viewers. We are solely responsible for all show content in its entirety and does not necessarily reflect the opinions of any sponsors in any way. These broadcasts are presented and made public by the On the Spot with David Rodgers team in the hope that it'll be entertaining and informative to our viewers and listening audience. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's 7 o'clock and time for On the Spot with David Rodgers. And now, here he is, Mr. Friday Night, the show pony himself, the man, the dream, the legendary David Rodgers.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to On the Spot with David Rodgers. I'm your host, David Rodgers, alongside Mr. Austin Stevens and the Dragon Slayer, Michael Heater. Waiting on Mr. Bagwell to get here. Great to have you along. Tonight's show is brought to you by Miracle Automotive and Recovery in both Stark and McClinney. Call Kirk and Kenny Miracle at 904-368-1114. Miracle Automotive, where miracles happen every day. Let's get the show started as we always do with our prayer, our pledge, and our patriotic quote of the night. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody that's watching, if you'll please bow your head. Our righteous Heavenly Father, let us once thank again for a wonderful and glorious day you've given us, dear Lord. Thank you for this time that we're able to spend with us, our brothers here, the On the Spot with David Rodgers crew, as we bring information to our viewers and making sure our viewers take that information and do as they wish with it, dear Lord. Thank you again, like I said, for giving us this opportunity this time. Thank you for letting us live in the greatest country in the world today, the United States of America, the most freest, the most powerful nation in this whole world, dear Lord. No matter what is happening within the United States, that we are still that powerful and that freest nation. Put your hand on us, dear Lord, and let us accept you as God again and make this nation as it once was. Thank you for the greatest armed forces in the world today, dear Lord. That's our United States military. All branches, dear Lord. Keep a hedge of protection over them as they're out there fighting for our rights and our freedoms, and keeping that hedge of protection over us as we go throughout our daily lives. All those that are serving now and that have served and that have given the ultimate sacrifice, and that is their lives, dear Lord. Thank you for our first responders, each and every one of them, as they're out there doing the work each and every day to keep us safe from not only domestic and foreign problems, dear Lord, but also shore problems, dear Lord, as they come to us. Homeland security, starting there and working our way down. Keep a hedge of protection over those guys and make sure you bring them home back safely to their families. Any spoken or unspoken prayer requests, dear Lord, that you touch each and every one of them as you know their needs, their thoughts, and what they need, dear Lord. Put your hand upon them and bring them comfort and ease of pain. Thank you for the food that we receive each and every day, that it goes into the nourishment of our bodies and our bodies to thy service. Again, thank you for letting us spend time with the crew today and with our viewers. Thank you for everything that you've done for us up to this point. Thank you for the great day you've given us and the great week that you're going to give us again, dear Lord. We ask for these things in your Son's name, Jesus Christ. And the congregation says, Amen. Amen. Let us stand for the pledge. And I'm going to ask the one and only Austin Stevens if he'll lead us in the pledge.
Would love to. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to On the Spot with David Rodgers. We've got Mr. Austin Stevens, our weather guru, sitting in as a co-host right now. He will be giving the weather report here in just a few minutes.
Oh, wait, it's going to rain.
Oh, boy, that's Mr. Bagwell's line. I'm sure he'll get you when he gets here. Back in the back here. He is the senior producer. He is the executive producer. He is the producer of the show. All the beautiful graphics that you see, everything that is coming across your screen is done by none other than our very own, should I say, Mr. Dave Holland, who also had an appearance in Hairspray, he was Ricky Lee's, Ricky Lake? Ricky Lake's boyfriend in that movie. How about that? I just want to know, was she as nice as everybody says she is, Dave?
No.
Definitely not.
No, totally different girl.
All right.
Totally different.
And by the way, if you've seen it a couple of weeks ago, the guy next to me right here, he's the director of our show. He helps write our show, helps keep everything coordinated. He has killed more dragons than any Greek god, than anybody in history. Because what? He is part of history. He is our very own director, Michael, the Dragon Slayer Heater.
Yeah. Good evening, folks. Welcome.
And I am your host. I've got a new one. It's the show pony still, Austin.
Oh.
But you know what the new one is. Are odds against you?
I don't know.
Sometimes they are, right?
Yeah.
Who do you call? 1-800 The Equalizer. That's who I am. The Equalizer, also the show pony, and we are all known as the new high priest of the Church of the Painful Truth. That's us right there, the DOR,
right.
The Defenders of the Republic. Again, tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we've got an action-packed show, getting ready to get at it. Also, just to let you know, Mitchell Gunner will not be here, so that's why the Dragon Slayer is sitting in, waiting on Mr. Byron Bagwell to come in. But we have the lovely and the handsome Austin Stevens sitting in, right along with the handsome producer. Again, let's get it rolling. All right, shout out to Slice and Dice Barbecue, Chris Davis and his crew over there in Lottie. You know, they're only open 4 days a week now.
I know it, but I'm telling you, it's the great 4 days.
Oh, my God, it is a great 4 days.
I love it. Every Friday.
Yeah.
Every Friday at noon. That's where I head for lunch. It's a great...
Is that a ritual for you?
It is. It's a ritual for me.
I tell you what, I try to get it as much as I can. It's usually dinner time because of what time I get off. But I can tell you right now, Chris and those guys do a great job over there. They were actually at the Edwards Road event here this past weekend.
Yes, they were.
And I've talked to Chris. They did excellent there with the food
they
trailer.
Yes, they
I hear the whole event was great. And I'm telling you, if you want the best barbecue around, go to Slice and Dice and Lottie. Drive the 8 miles, 9 miles, Dave. Go out there and visit those guys. They're really good people. He has stepped up and helped out the community.
He did.
All the whole crew has. So please go out there and visit them.
You got a quote for us?
I don't. Do you? I may have one back here. Do you have one right now?
Not off the top of my head, but I mean, I can come up with something.
Can you come up with something?
I will.
All right. I tell you what. I do have one. It may be under the sports category. But let me see. Let me just see here. I may have one that's hid back here that I may have done before. Dave, do you have one? I've got one.
If you got one, I'll say.
I got one.
I have one.
All right.
You don't. That's fine.
It is not the size of a man, but the size of his heart that matters.
That would be my cardiologist.
Wow, that's a great guess. What's his name?
Huh? That would be Lucian Aboud.
Lucian Aboud. I don't have him.
No.
All right.
Okay, well, let's just check it.
All right. Who do you think, Austin? It's a sports figure.
Oh, Lord. If it ain't nothing to do with the Gators, I'm not good at it.
Okay, so it doesn't. All right, Dave, anybody? Take a guess? All right, if I said he's a boxer, would you get it? All right, he says Muhammad Ali. Dave, you want to take that one too?
Say the quote.
Okay, say the quote. It is not the size of a man, but the size of his heart that matters.
Wow. As a doctor, I'm going to have to say...
He said Muhammad Ali. I mean, Muhammad Ali's a pretty big guy, but not as big. He fought bigger fighters.
Yeah.
No, I'm thinking back in the 40s.
Oh, Rocky Marciano?
Yeah.
Okay, you like Marciano.
I take that quote because I think of somebody who's small in stature when you say that like that. And for me, I was thinking Sugar Ray Leonard.
Sugar Ray Leonard. All of those were great guesses. Well, Dave had an appearance in that movie. We'll have to find out later. But anyway, Evander Holyfield.
Oh.
Evander Holyfield.
That's right.
So, I got one more. The only way to prove you are a good sport is to lose. Baseball player, famous, played for the Cubs.
Babe Ruth.
Okay, that's a good guess.
I'm trying to think. One of the Cubbies.
Sosa?
Good guess.
I was gonna say Sammy Sosa was the only one that came to my mind.
Ernie Banks.
Ernie
Banks. Next guess right there. Yeah, you go. You got that right.
True. All right.
All right. Hey, like I said, we got a great show, so we're getting ready to do the Q&D, aren't we, Mike?
We are indeed. It's going to be a good one.
Boy, I'll tell you what, then we'll come back with the Q&D as soon as we take this commercial break. So again, we got an action-packed hour for you guys tonight. Austin Stevens, Michael Heater, Dave Holland. Of course, Austin's father is with us. Donald Stevens is in the house watching live. I'm your host, David Rodgers. Thank you guys for joining in, and appreciate you joining in. I'm going to get to everybody's comments. We've got a lot of things to talk about, especially when it comes to What's the Date, Dave?
Yeah.
Because we have a winner. Remember, we have a winner. Mike, do you have the fire hat, or you got to go get it?
I have to go get it.
Okay.
But I will get it. But we do have a winner, and I will tell you, it is not a repeat.
Ooh.
A new winner for June.
So that means for sure we can take Roy Jackson out of the picture. As much as I love Roy,
and we can take and as much as it pains me.
Yep.
That means it's
no Mary Salvatore. No Lydia Morris. No Shirley Bagwell.
No Shirley Bagwell. This is a brand new winner.
Whoa!
Pulled out. And let me tell you something. The funny thing is that we had 11 different guesses as far as it goes like that. 11 different names that were multiples. I really expected to pull, someone else who previously won.
Right.
Didn't happen this time. Got to stay tuned to see who it is.
Wow, that is crazy with all the multiple guests that we had with repeat winners. So
it's good though. So
it is. All right, this is the 360, your news and weather update. It's 360 degrees and 360 seconds. Brought to you by Harry Business in the Deerfoot Plaza, home of the $10 haircut. Call Dave and Company at 904-964-3338. Let's begin in Putnam County, when one person is dead and two others injured after a shooting this morning in Putnam County. The three people were shot around 3 a.m. or so near Gumby Court and Walnut Street in Crescent City.
That is a bad timing.
Ooh, that is, isn't it? At 3 a.m.? Ooh.
Yeah.
Deputies say one person was found dead at the scene, one was flown in a helicopter to a hospital, and the other was taken by ambulance. Wow. Alachua County says Post Springs is closed until further notice because of flooding related to Tropical Storm Elsa. Staff reports that the water has risen beyond a point of where it's safe to use the springs, and the water is up to the restaurants.
Yeah,
good grief.
As a matter of fact, what's interesting about that is that actually part of the parking lot is underwater, and the restroom facility has nearly 8 inches of water in it.
And that's not the only place, but I can tell you one thing right now. The other thing that's going on, Mike, is not just in these places. You went to an emergency the other night. You had to leave the show.
I did.
Because of some bridges, things like that. The water's just everywhere.
Yeah, it is. And we're going to give you an update on road conditions and the local news. Since Mitchell is going to be out, I'm going to fill in for Mitchell. We got a lot of local news, and we'll talk about some of the road closures and roads reopening in just a few minutes.
That's great. So, over to Clay County, where the city of Green Cove Springs is receiving $700,000 in state grants to fund 3 neighborhood revitalization improvement projects, which includes an upgrade to storm drains. We're just talking about that, by replacing a water pipe that is more than 50 years old. In addition, the city will install sidewalk curbs and asphalt and landscape on West Street and 1.5 miles of sidewalks on Center Street. They will also install new picnic tables and benches at Vera Francis Hall Park.
And that's going to be a big improvement because the picnic tables that are there are aged. Some are concrete and some are wood. And there's been some issues with them. So this is a fantastic effort by Governor DeSantis to be able to reward to rural and small communities to help improve infrastructure.
That's great. The Boots and Badges Charity Basketball Tournament is returning to Lake City this month. It will be held Saturday, July 31st, 2021 at 3 p.m. at Lake City Middle School. That address for that middle school is 843 Southwest Arlington Boulevard in Lake City. So make sure you get your team ready.
That's it.
The Columbia County Sheriff's Office, Lake City Fire Department, and Columbia County Fire Rescue will battle it out for charity. Admission is $5 and children under 5 are free. You have to pay this time, Austin. And details are available on the Columbia County Sheriff's Office Facebook page.
I'm excited about this next story because I can't wait to see the reaction.
Another fundraiser, this one in Marion County, featuring a great way to vent your frustrations.
Absolutely.
As you can rent a lane for 1 hour to throw axes at a target.
Yes.
Yes, I'm telling you, you can throw axes at a target. No, Austin, not at any people. Forget it. Yeah. The Marion County Sheriff's Office Foundation is hosting the charity event at the Firehouse Urban Axe Throwing Facility at 1043 Northeast 14th Street, Ocala. Visit axethrowingocala.com for details and how you can sign up.
Come on now, it'd be
Speaking of
fun.
axe throwing, y'all do know, y'all realize this is a professional sport.
It is.
That pays money. If you're good enough, it's a professional league.
It is.
You can see it on ESPN. And let me tell you what, some of those guys,
Pretty
That's
I'm going to tell you right now, I don't want to be standing in front of them at, what is it, about 10 or 12 feet where they got to throw that axe. What's the distance? Y'all,
It's
15 feet?
15 feet, yeah.
15 feet. Forget it. They're going to nail you somewhere. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Actually, I would prefer to be in front of them as opposed to somebody like me, because no matter where you stand, I'm probably going to get hit.
Well, that's true. Yeah. Well, yeah, it's just saying. That's the latest news from around the region. Now, here's your weather forecast with Austin
This weather report brought to you by Austin's
Stevens.
Weather Service out of Keystone Heights. Find Austin's Weather Service on Facebook and have a detailed local forecast sent right to you.
Good evening, everyone. We got a good update after all the rain we had with Elsa, and I know Michael loves Elsa now. We are now expecting partly cloudy conditions and temperatures rising back into the lower 90s.
Let it go. Just let it go.
No. But anyways, our temperatures will rise back into the lower 90s. Heat index readings will reach 101 to possibly 104 over the weekend. Stay safe, drink plenty of water, and enjoy some water activities. Back to David.
All right. Hey, how about the pollen count, Austin? Do you know what's going on there? It's a little lower, isn't it, since all this came through?
Oh yeah, it's a little bit lower, but unfortunately might go back up thanks to weeds, your grasses
Yeah.
and weeds.
Well, let me help you out here. Today was Tuesday, right?
Yes, it was.
So all day long, except if it rained. If it rained, it changes to Wednesday. Is that right?
That's it.
For the weather guys, right?
Nah, yeah, maybe.
Okay. So 1.7 today, 2.7 on Wednesday, 4.1 on Thursday, going up a little bit.
Yep,
4.5 on Friday, and then back down just a little bit on Saturday, 4.4.
Yep, that 4.5 is due to it actually drying out a little bit. And
That's right.
Lower
There you
rain
go.
chances.
Yep, low to medium. So I'm okay with that because you know how me, Byron, and Mitchell are, and even Michael to an extent with our sinuses.
Y'all love
Oh, no.
Y'all love
With
that pollen.
No, when Michael brings that up and the count is really high, we really tell Michael to turn that off.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey, and I want to say something, and Austin brought up a great thing here. I know he wasn't going to talk about it, but I want to throw it out here. For those of you, and if you're watching the ticker across the bottom of the screen, you'll see it coming up here. Last night,
Yep.
or actually yesterday, the United States set a new record for the warmest low temperature in the country in history. California had a low temperature at 6 a.m. of 107 degrees.
Oh!
That was the low temperature.
But there was 15% humidity.
Right, which of course is leading to some massive wildfires burning in Oregon and in California.
I'm just going to say.
We spoke to a couple of firefighter friends of mine who are here actually taking a little bit of a respite before heading back out there, and they said that one of the fires that's broke out in Oregon is going to exceed 155,000 acres. It's in its seventh day, and there's no indication it's going to slow down. Folks, the Santa Ana winds haven't even started yet, so we're looking at what could be another record-breaking, unfortunately, wildfire season.
All right, well, Michael, now that you brought that up, for anybody's that has relatives live out there or any kin people, is there anything close to homes?
Well, at this point, there are some homes threatened, but I haven't received any report of any injuries or fatalities or any major property damage. It's still off in the wildland area.
Right.
But here's the thing about it. If you have family or friends that live out west, seriously tell them that a wildfire out there is the same as a hurricane here. They need to have a plan. They need to be able to evacuate. They need to have a point of reunification. They need to be able to have supplies with them, because if you have to leave, you're going to be gone for 2 or 3 days. You need drinking water. You need snacks. You need clothing. You need to take care of your pets. Anything that we would deal with if having to evacuate for a hurricane in Florida, they need to make those same plans for dealing with a wildfire out west.
Now
All
the only difference between a wildfire and a hurricane, a wildfire can rapidly spread with little or no advance warning. A hurricane, you kind of have a GIF on where it's actually going to go.
Yeah, and quite a few updates on those, Austin. That's a great point that you bring up. On a wildfire, like you said, and Michael said, it can turn on a whim or a dime, and you just don't know.
Right.
And by the time you get the update, the damage is already done.
Yep.
That's true.
So, all right. Thank you for that weather update, Austin and Michael. Now, hey, our favorite thing that we like to do besides what's the date is the trivia answer there, Austin. Do you know why that is?
Oh, because David wants you to go down to the downtown
I want you to, that's right, I want you to go down to the downtown grill. For who? Owners Chrissy and Ricky Thompson,
Yep,
right?
exactly.
So here now is the answer to one of the questions for Thursday night trivia at the Downtown Grill. What we do is we give you the answer, not the questions. We come up with the questions within that round, and it's usually called, and the answer is.
That's right.
So that's always the giveaway, and the answer is, if you want the quickest 9, 11, or 13 points in the world, you ought to listen to this show. If you're not listening tonight, go back and watch it,
right.
because
You can do it
we're
here on
in
Facebook and
Let
YouTube.
me see, and YouTube. That's right. We're going to talk about that a little bit. So about 24 after, right, Mike? Is that what you have?
That's what I got.
24 after. If you ain't watched the show, make sure you get on it, because that answer is Caesar. Caesar. How about that? That could be Caesar salad. That could be King Caesar. That could be, hey, you know who else it could be? It could be Caesar off the Planet of the Apes.
That's my pet dog, Caesar.
Caesar, your pet dog Caesar. That's right.
Can I even throw
Caesar-
can I throw another one out there?
Sure.
For those of you that are watching, research Canadian drinks.
Right. Yeah, I remember that as well. That's
There you go.
exactly right.
So there you
So,
go.
all right. Now, everyone's favorite segment. We're going to have a little bit to do here because we are going to pick a winner. As a matter of fact, Mike, once we roll this, and I'll start talking a little bit to the, you'll go get the fire.
I'll get everything ready to go.
All right. And now, everyone's favorite segment that brings back a little history, brought to you by our great media partners, Eagle Country 106.3 FM. That's WEAG, Eagle Country 106.3 FM. Chuck and Mary Kramer and Lynn Vellis, my bosses on Friday nights. And why is that, Austin?
Oh, because you do. Now you do. Friday night football starts in the fall time in less than 60 days.
Whoa, you're keeping up. All right. And the Bradford County Telegraph. Owner John Miller, John Ryan, Elizabeth Tillman, new owners of
Sporting Chance here in Stark.
Yep, and I'll tell you what, we may be doing a show from there. We're getting in some thoughts about that. We're trying to work that out. Editor Mark Crawford, and of course the all-around guy, Dave, your buddy Cliff Smelly.
Cliff Smelly.
That's right. Here's what's the date. All right, these are the headlines from the Bradford Telegraph in the second week of July. In what year?
This ought to be good. I'm curious.
All right, 7 pets die in house fire. Clean report still finds room for improvement. Proud Patriots on parade.
Really?
Let me read that again, Mike.
Okay.
7 pets die in the house fire.
Okay.
Man, he's widened this grip pretty good.
Good.
Clean report still finds room for improvement. And Proud Patriots on parade. Was it July of 2013, July of 2015, or July of 2017?
Oh, that one's tough.
Oh, 7 pets die in house fire. Clean report still finds room for improvement. Proud Patriots on Parade. Boy, you've really diversified that one. Was it July of 2013, 2015, or 2017? All right. I'll tell you what, Mike. I'll read the first one. You can read the second one, and I'll read the third one.
That suits me.
A pre-dawn house fire on State Road 230 east of Stark destroyed a home and killed 7 small dogs trapped inside. The owners were out of the area at the time of the fire. One firefighter was injured by a broken glass during the firefight.
Yeah, absolutely. An audit conducted by Reddish and White CPA here in Stark for the city of Stark provided a clean review of the city's finances, but indicated that the city should use a different method for tracking income and expenses.
This one may have gave it away for me. County Manager Brad Carter won first place for the best boat in the annual Kingsley Lake Independence Day Parade, featuring his son Ben Carter playing guitar on the water. David and Bonnie Cruz took second with a giant birthday cake saying, "Happy Birthday, America," on their Mastercraft boat. How about that? So, Dave, I'm going to give it to you again. 7 pets die in house fire. Clean report still finds room for improvement. And Proud Patriots on Parade. So, was that the second week of July in 2013, 2015, or 2017? So, as Mike goes and gets the fire helmet because we got to have a winner.
I'm going to go get it.
All right, I'm going to I'll do some comments.
Hey, folks, don't go away. We'll be right back.
Oh, yeah, because they want to know the winner.
Absolutely.
Shirley Bagwell, Gail Allen, and 5 others are watching. Hello and welcome in. Vincent D. Tucker, Hot Topics in the house. Hot Topics.
Speaking
with
of hot
Z and topics.
Speaking of hot topics,
Yeah.
it's hot where he's at.
Oh, in Phoenix, Arizona?
Oh, yeah, I saw. 111.
Yeah. Hey,
111.
hey, would you like to be out there right now?
Not with the not wearing
Somebody
pants.
told me that you would like to be out there playing golf. Is that true?
That is not true.
That is not true?
That
Me
is
and
not
you're
true.
going to go play golf one day.
Really?
Yes. All right. So, anyway, Hot Topics with Z and Tuck. 10:30 Eastern Time for you guys that are watching on the East Coast.
Yep.
That starts 7:30, 3-hour time difference.
Yep,
Got a great show. They've got some great things that they've added. They got GY6 now. Got a guy named Ben that helps them out. They're doing a lot of interviews and a lot of things there. Tune in for Z and Tuck. Great show. They always give us props. We give it right back. Z and Tuck, glad to have you. Vincent, glad to have you aboard. Donnie Wiggs says hello. He says, "Is that why there's paint markings on my street?" We'll talk about that. That's probably why. Yes, sir. Oh, man, I need to wait for Michael Heater to come in, but we can all do it. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Hello, Albie! There we go. Byron Bagwell, 6 Semper Tyrant. Amen, Byron. Randy Scoggins is watching. Donnie Wiggs. Was it called Cat Lady? Oh, boy. Okay. All right. Dwight Allen, if you can remember these, says 15.
Yeah, I'll remember.
Let's see. Christopher Davis says 13. Dwight Allen says, Dave Holland, make that 17. I don't like 15 anymore. He likes 17. Tammy Testone says 2013. Dave Theus says 2015. Roy Jackson, 2015. We already know Roy Jackson's not winning because we got a new winner. He's won it 2 months in a row, so he can't win it this time because we got a new winner. Edward Petiprin says 2013. His lovely wife, the model, Sharon Petiprin, says 2013.
Wow.
I like the 2013. All right. I'm going to ask you, what do you think, just for GPs? Since you can't win anything.
Oh, I guess I'll go with 2013.
Okay, 2013, Austin.
It's unlucky 13.
All right, unlucky 13. What does Donnie say?
2013.
Donnie says, he said that with confidence, too. Did you? Yeah. No.
July 11th.
Oh, he knows something. All right, Dave. All right, Dave.
I'm going with 17.
You're going with 17, David. Okay. I don't know this one. This one's got me stumped. Something tells me, and this is the giveaway for me, was that parade. Something tells me that's 2050. because of the election.
Oh,
May be
yeah.
totally wrong. I may be totally off balance here. Because, you can start prepping yourself years in advance.
Well, the parade is what is kind of fueling my answer.
Yeah.
It seems a little fresher in my mind than, say, 2013 or 2015. So
See-
that's why I'm going with 17.
Which is okay, but yeah, and it still could be. It still could be because you can show patriotic anything, during that time.
Yeah.
But Donald Trump didn't get in office until what?
2016. The end of
So
2016.
end of 2016. So
Not great.
I can see where those answers are right there. I don't know if the audience agrees with me or not. Something just tells me it's 2015. Make America great again. Decorating the boats up. You know what I mean?
Well, also 2017 Florida.
And that's exactly right. Now, just great point, Austin. Florida with DeSantis and everything going on, and the way that was going, it could be easily 2017. That's what's throwing me off.
I thought.
Donald, what do you think? Do you
John.
think that maybe I know you said 13.
2013.
Okay, and he must know
He's saying
something.
it with confidence too.
Well, man, maybe because when did Donald Trump really start coming up with his voice and about making America great again? That was around that time, was it not?
In the 80s.
2013. Well, besides, okay. How about as he was getting ready to run for presidency?
Not 2014, I want to say.
So he could be right too, man. Any one of these answers could be right. I don't know the other two.
You got me curious now.
You've got me curious too. Now, Michael, I know you did this, and I don't know if nobody's changed their answer yet. So,
Dwight.
Dwight did to 2017. What throws me here on this one, you got a good one here.
Yes.
What throws me here is the boat parade, and it had that "Make America Great" thing.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So that leads me to believe that Donald Trump was in full force and everything. And to me, 2015 made the right sense. However, Austin brings up something. Tell him what you said, Austin.
I said that it could be due to Ron DeSantis and the way Ron DeSantis runs stuff now. It could have been done in 2017.
17.
Brings up a very good point.
And Donald, which throws me too, because me and Dave are interested now. Donald said 2013.
With confidence, too.
And we said it with confidence, exactly right. So, that's when Donald Trump's really making the push for presidency and bringing America. So all those answers are good. What throws me is I don't know the other two. I can't remember the other two.
Now, if you didn't tell me the years, I would have said possibly 2020.
So I don't know. But anyway, guys, get your answers in, please. We're getting ready to shut her down. Dave's got most of the answers here. We've got a lot of 2013s, 2017s. There's some 2015s. Mr. Bagwell is here, so we'll bring him in here as soon as we're done with this segment.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll bring him in as soon as we're done with this segment. Byron will come get you. Noah says 2015. Okay. All right, this is the way it works, ladies and gentlemen. We are now fixing to draw a new winner here in just a couple of minutes. The way this is you have a chance to win a $25 gift certificate from the Downtown Grill and Start. And the way you do that is you got to guess the answer. You guess the answer right, you get put into the show the fire hat, Mike. You don't have to pull the winner out yet. You get put in that big fire hat right there. We just take the pieces of paper, tear them off, drop them in,
right.
and it's usually pretty full.
It is
pretty full.
It is usually full. Now, in full disclosure,
Yeah.
we normally pull it on the air.
Yes, we do.
However, because of staffing and things like that,
Yeah.
I did ask Dave. I said, Dave, look, I said, we've got a lot of stuff going on here
Yeah.
like that with our timing. I said, if you're good with it, we had a witness.
Yeah.
Can we go ahead and pull the names so that we're not having to scramble
Right.
for a second? He was good with it. So normally it's full. The winner is in here. He doesn't know who it is. I and a certain individual who shall remain nameless was my witness. She knows I love her. Don't worry about it.
Of course.
And so we have everything's on the up and up here.
Yes.
But no one knows the winner except for the two of us. So
we're fixing to find out with you guys here in just a minute.
We're going to show you in just a moment. That's right.
All
Wow,
right.
show me for
So
one
that's the
second.
way that you get in for that $25 gift certificate to the Downtown Grill. You can use it anytime. You can use it at trivia. You can use it on Friday night. You can use it for an anniversary. Whatever you wish, that's where you can use it. All right. We got a couple of late answers. Vincent Tucker says 17. Brooks says 17. Randy Brooks. All right. Let us check, Dave, before you pull the winner. Let us check and see who's going to get some names in the drawing there. And the answer is, wait for it, little drum roll. Dan fixing us in, and the answer is July of 2013.
That's it.
Boy, Donald, I've got to ask.
How'd you
I've
know?
got to ask. You said that with confidence. What threw it for you? Was it even the boat? Was it the boat parade? Was it anything else in it? Just something hit you with it? Nice.
Well,
July of 2013, ladies and gentlemen. Don't listen to your host anymore. Hey, but everything really rhymed and reasoned there. I mean, it could have been any one of those.
It could have been any one. And this was a difficult one. The kicker with this one was that they do the boat parade every year, and if you've never taken in the Kings Lake Boat Parade or the Santa Fe Lake Boat Parade on the 4th of July, they are really amazing things to watch, because it's one thing to watch a parade like, when we do Christmas on Call Street or the Homecoming Parade, something like that. But a boat parade it takes it to another level, and it's really
And you know
exciting
what
to
else
watch.
threw me too? The second week of July. But you got to remember, when is the Bradford Telegraph report? The following
Second week of July.
So that's what threw me off, dude. Good job.
There you
Good
go.
job. All right. So David Theus says, shucks. All right. I do not know this winner. Everybody said 2013 moves into this hat as soon as we draw this winner. And Michael, I'm going to let you do the honors. I do not know.
Okay.
I'll even let you read it.
All right. Well, in that case, then, folks, let me go ahead and congratulate a first-time winner. Now, I did say first-time winner, but I will tell you that it was, it kind of ties in a little bit. It wasn't the model.
Uh-oh.
uh-oh.
It was the boss.
Oh, Edward Pettiprin, congratulations. Dave, it seems like we lost sound there for a second or so. Miss Shirley Bagwell said. Are you good on the sound? Test 1, 2. Good on the sound. All right, Shirley. Hopefully we got it back. Congratulations, Edward Pettiprin. He can take his lovely wife out now. And the
I was just
model.
about to say that.
There you go. Why don't you say it, Austin?
Well, you could take the model down to the Downtown Grill on Thursday night for Thursday Night Trivia, not sponsored by David Rodgers.
All right. Guys, thank you for joining in. All you guys that are playing and are watching the show, got a lot of stuff to go. We got a lot of local stuff to go over. We've got a lot of national news coming up. As a matter of fact, the Byron Bagwell is waiting us for to go get him. So, yes, sir, if you would, Dave, we're going to continue on here with the show.
Actually, that would be a good time to maybe see. We don't have the graphic, but you know what? I'm willing to bet we can probably throw out the what?
We can throw out the phone. Let's do. Before you throw out the phone, you better you better get your vest on. Donnie Wiggs said, "That's it. I didn't win. I know where you live, Michael." Donnie.
Nobody likes a sore loser.
Oh!
Now, with that being said,
You can call in, Donnie, and defend yourself.
I'll defend him. Let me tell you something.
Yeah,
we pulled it. That's what I'm saying. It's on the up and up here like that one. Donnie and Mary and one other person I think had 4 or 5 entries.
Really?
Because you can say, they are. We've had, it's a luck of the draw, but everyone did a really good job, and it's, we keep getting more and more numbers as we progress. So it's, and that's a tribute to you and the leadership, because everyone seems to be enjoying the show, and we want to make the show better. If you have a suggestion about how you would like to see the show improved, if there's something you'd like to see, something you'd like us to research, something that you'd want to know about, you could drop us an email at onthespot32091 at gmail.com.
Yeah,
What did I say?
absolutely.
Spot91 at gmail.com. And include this. Now, we get your messages on Messenger, and that's fantastic. We get your messages on the Facebook page during the show. But if there's something that you want to do, it could be investigative. I'm telling you, between Byron and Mitchell, there's Colombo.
You
ain't
got
got
two of
nothing
the
on those two.
you got two of the better guys.
And
on
we
that.
would love to have your input as well. So make sure you reach out to us. You can send us email, send us a message. We love your input because we value you as our viewer.
Absolutely, and that's a great bit that you bring up, Michael. Somebody asked me, where do you get the content of the show? How does the content work? Well, Michael just sort of said it right there in so many words. If we don't have anything from you guys, as far as we check every day of every week to see if there's a topic. Yes. Again, I don't care. We may not be licensed marriage counselors. Hey, if you want to talk about, well, I know we're not. So, if you want to talk about a relationship or something that's going on in your life, anything, bring it to us. If we don't have the answers or we don't feel comfortable in talking about it, guess what? We'll table it off and we'll research it and we'll get back with you. There's no doubt about it. That's right. So I've had some people go, I don't hear you talking a lot of relationships or things that are going on in relationships. That's because, first of all, we report news. I mean, that's news. Kind of our thing. We report news, so we try to give you everything that we know locally. So it is for your benefit. We go national because, hey, you may not have had a chance to watch any of the news, and Byron brings that to you from a national perspective. We bring you the rest of the goodies that we fill in because that's the way our show runs. That's what people like. Love what's the date. Love the trivia question. And like Michael said, if there's anything you want to talk about, reach out to any of us. We would love to be honest with you. We're pushing the page. The Gmail address. Yeah. That's where we'd like to see that at. Not saying that you can't private message us or Facebook mail us or whatever. We would like to see it on there. There's two things. First of all, we know that the address is working. If we start getting emails, you can say it's just a great show. Whatever you want to do, we know that the Gmail address is working and that it's not for naught. And the second thing is like I said, before Michael writes up the show, we all talk. And if there's a topic on there, he'll call me or Dave or any of us, or we'll all get together and say, hey, Sharon Pettiprin wants to talk about the new line of makeup for Maybelline.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, hey, we'll do that.
We'll do it.
That's not a problem. We will definitely do that. So, let me see here. I got to go back to a couple of things.
Sure.
Edward Pettiprin said, like wife is happy, dinner on dad.
Wow.
Edward Pettiprin. Nice.
There you go.
Donnie Wiggs, oh man, it's all good, Mike. I'm going to take his dog.
You're going to have a hard time.
Oh, boy.
You better talk to Mama about that one.
Donnie Wiggs says, I have a question. How many months have 28 days in them?
All of them.
That's what I can say. Every one of them.
All of them. You thought you got us, Donnie. No, sir. Sharon already answered all of them, Donnie. He's laughing.
Yeah.
I can't be mean to Michael. He is a hard-working man. Yeah, he is. One of the hardest-working guys I know. He's always involved in something, always into something. And we always talk about where we're going to get some sleep. Yeah. That's when we're dead.
Yeah, that's
pretty much where
I'm doing.
Yeah.
See how neither one of you find the time to do this show. You work so hard.
Yeah, well, we just
have our moments.
We have our moments, man. There's many a times I feel like calling you guys and going, but you know what? We do it because we love these guys.
Yes. Yeah.
We love our viewers. We love everybody that tunes in. Make sure you spread the word. Man, spread the word. On the Spot with David Rodgers. And by the way, Michael, do you want to tell the viewers we're up for an award?
Ooh, I guess I could.
Yeah.
Hey, for those of you that haven't heard, On the Spot with David Rodgers is up for the W3 Awards. It is a national award for podcasting. It's relatively new. It's only been on for about 10 years, but it recognizes excellence in podcasting and streaming for social media. On the Spot with David Rodgers was nominated for Best News and Weather. and it is a national board. Now, applications are being received through August 6th, so we won't know anything until probably
Right.
September. But the fact that we were nominated for our
Is
news
even
and weather
more.
segments
Yes.
is pretty impressive. So that is a national recognition that is going to be awarded in New York City. It's not an award ceremony. It's not like he's going to go
No.
collect a plaque or anything. But it recognizes the effort that people put into these shows. To be honest, I figured I wouldn't be surprised if Z and Tucker are probably also nominated for the award
Yeah,
because
I
they do
would.
an outstanding show as
Yeah, I
well.
wouldn't
Yeah.
be surprised.
I would
So,
be surprised.
so for just to be nominated, of course, that's what they say. Oh, it's just an honor to be nominated. It is,
It is.
we appreciate that one because that shows that you guys appreciate what we try to bring to you every week.
And it's because of you, the viewers. I mean, you go back and start looking at our views. Dave brought up a good point. We had a production meeting last night. David said, we've been doing this show for September will be 3 years that we've had everybody intact, right? We've actually been doing it longer than that, going back to the lives and the things like that. So technically we've been doing it longer than that. But as far as a tact group, 3 years.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, it is because of you guys, the viewing audience. That's why we're here and enjoy what we're doing is because of you.
Exactly.
All right.
How
Go
many
ahead.
downloads, Austin, do we have on
We-
YouTube now?
Yeah, I'd like to.
We're getting close.
Episodes?
We're about 210 in. We're about 210.
Wow.
Jesus. 210. That is
impressive.
phenomenal.
And now that we segmented over to our sport episodes, we got about the next Friday will be the 16th episode.
Of the sports show where we just
Yep.
went sports.
Yep.
And that we've had more than that, but we actually have had to go back a little bit because of some things that have come up, or we'd have more than that on there.
All right, that's true.
Donnie brings up a good point. He says Austin's weather is more accurate than Newsjack's for.
Thank you for the credibility there. Not to brag here or bash anyone, but News4Jax, if anyone out there in News4Jax, you can call me personally, 904-203-8946. Might want to work better on reporting when there's an actual tornado.
Oh! Gordon says, hello, Austin. Thanks for all the work that you do on our weather. Oh, my God. And Donnie says, thank you, sir.
I'm upgrading Bradford County for a new weather system.
Hey, let me go to the phone lines. I can imagine here.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, this is Channel 4 News, Mr. Rogers. Can I speak with Austin Stevens, please? Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm going to let you answer that call, Austin.
I will.
But right now, hey, we're going to let Mr. Bagwell slide in. Do you mind? Mr. Bagwell's going to help you up. We'll let Mr. Bagwell slide in. Hey, he filled in great for you, by the way. You want to thank him for
Thanks,
filling in?
Austin. I appreciate it.
It's gonna rain.
He used your
Oh,
line.
yeah, he used your line.
He used your line, bro.
Well, I mean, it is going to rain.
At some point. That's
All right.
Yeah.
The phone line is now open, 904-458-7588. Sheriff, I'd love for you to call in because I just seen this. Love from the Mexican border in McAllen, Texas. Sheriff, can you call in? 904-458-7588. Tell us what's going on. If the line is busy, you can leave a message and we'll read your message on the air. You can also try to call back if you wish. And what's that number?
It is 904-458-7588. And are we sure we really want to know what's going on the border? I mean, the news media doesn't want us to know, and the Democrats don't want us to know.
Now hang on now. Now hang on. Mr. Gordon Smith, maybe I'd be down there fly fishing. I don't know. Let's find out.
I hope he's fly fishing with an M60 or a Ma Deuce.
Oh. Donnie says, are you working there? Donnie says, close the borders. We're out of room. Well,
Oh, no, we're not out of room.
no.
We can't be out of room.
No, I know we're not out of room. Again, the phone line's open, 904-458-7588. We still got a lot to get to. Just a few minutes, Mike, on this thing here. Oh, look at here.
There we go.
There we go. Guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Tell your mothers, your fathers, your brothers, your sisters, and anybody that you can get. We have our very own and our great friend, the sheriff of Bradford County, one of the best sheriffs in the state, if not the best sheriff in the state.
You know about the
The Byron Bagwell.
No,
Yeah,
Gordon Smith.
Smith. What's up, Sheriff?
Hey, I'm with a few other sheriffs who might think they're better. I'm not sure.
They'd be wrong.
They would be wrong, sir.
Hey, we're down here. We're looking firsthand at the border crisis that's affecting my community, all the communities in the state of Florida.
Yeah.
This is a real crisis. And you know what? If our leadership in Washington won't step up and do something, we're going to do something at the local level. And we got to take a stand. This is really creating havoc in McAllen, Texas. As you know, one of the major cities that just all Democrat that voted a Republican mayor. People are fed up.
Yeah.
Something's got to be done, and it's I'm telling you, I'm heartbroken by seeing what's going on at the border. I've seen it firsthand. We're looking at it. We'll be out in the desert tomorrow. We'll be on the Rio Grande the next day, looking at it live, not just speculating, not taking somebody else's word, not looking at the mainstream media, whoever's reporting what, and what news channel you watch. We're going to see it real. It's affecting our communities. It's affecting Bradford County. It's affecting every county in the state of Florida with the drugs. Street level drugs are an all-time low back to the 80s. Prices working with the DEA down here. It's a real tragedy what's going on in America, and our leadership is doing nothing about it.
Sheriff, I'm so glad that you said that and you're talking about this a little bit. I'm glad that you sheriffs are stepping up and saying, we've had enough. And like you said, it's got to start somewhere. If we can't get it done at the higher level in Washington, it's starting with you guys. And I know one thing, sheriffs have great power, and especially when they all get together. And I can tell you, if anybody can get anything done, it's you guys.
It is, and I'm telling you, I'm here with a bunch of great men and women that are really our congressional leadership, not just in Florida, but with Texas and Arizona, meeting great people, and even the people of this community that are a border town that are stepping up, saying, y'all got to do something. Something's got to be done. I just sat with some people that are doing the vaccinations, and one county's mandating the vaccination for the illegals, one's not. I mean, we got to get our act together. This is it's sad. It's heartbreaking. In one aspect, it breaks your heart. I mean, it brings tears when you see these kids. Man, I've never. I get goosebumps talking to you now. To allow this to go on. Shame on America.
Hey, well,
our leadership, not Americans, but our leadership.
Yes,
that's what I was about to say, because the way to stop that was set up by the previous administration, and it's just been completely abandoned.
Correct.
right.
Is what's really going on with that. And these people.
Well, look at the largest border town, McAllen, Texas, 140,000. The county.
Yeah.
Hidalgo's about 750,000, all Democratic. Let me tell you something. I haven't seen a mask. I haven't seen people, but they're asking for help. They just elected a Republican mayor, first time in forever, and you see what's going on. They're begging for help, but they can't get help out either.
Yeah.
From the leadership in Washington, D.C., and it starts at the federal level. This is a federal issue.
Yeah. And it's interesting about that, because one of the things that people have been pushing for, and it's been, is, and give credit where credit is due, the Texas governor is the one who's been pushing for state leadership to come in and make these pushes. And then the Democratic congressional folks leave, go to Washington, D.C. to avoid the quorum.
To the state house.
Right.
They've issued, they're going to arrest them, and they're going to seek them, and they're going to track them down and find them.
I hope so.
And I really
responsibility
hope
to the citizens they serve.
Citizens
they serve. They need to stand up and make their vote.
That's
make
it.
their vote. If they're against it, vote against it. But you know what? That's okay. That's what you're elected to do. But don't flee from your responsibility. I can't flee from mine.
Exactly.
Right.
When it's good, I take responsibility. When it's bad, I still got to take responsibility.
That's right.
That's the part of what we do. That's our process. It's not a perfect process, but it's the greatest process in the world.
There you go.
Yes, it is. And this is not the first time this has happened.
Right.
And you have congressmen getting their pictures taken and put on Instagram of them buying a case of Natural Light or Miller Lite or something like that. These are your Democrat representatives that have done this.
Right.
They flew on personally owned jets.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Jets. Spending taxpayers' dollars of Texas to fly to Washington. They elect congressmen to do that. They elect senators to do that.
That's
not their responsibility. Their responsibility is to the district they serve.
That's right. And Gordon, I hope they do arrest them when they come back. I hope they do. And I hope they call an emergency session.
They cut off their credit cards and put them in jail. They
Yeah,
in jail
exactly.
because they're not facing their responsibility.
That's right. And I hope they call an emergency session and actually lower the number for the quorum.
Yeah.
And then they pass all of that without them being there. And there's going to be some other repercussions from that, too, because they're talking about redistricting some of those counties right now.
Yeah.
And I hope the Republicans just go ahead and do what they need to do, because you're absolutely right. They have basically just left their constituents out in the cold. They went to party in Washington, D.C.
Hey, Sheriff.
You know,
You say you're in McAllen, Texas. To help our viewers out a little bit, what's the town or the city that's across from you? Is that Laredo? Is that Nuevo Laredo? Where are you at exactly?
We're right at the border. We're about 3 miles from the actual border. We went down there today with ICE and Customs and looked at that and see where the people come in and go and talk to the local police, talk to the local sheriff and them, and they're all fighting the same issue. And they're wanting help. They're not fighting help. They're wanting help. And
Right.
Y'all, it's heartbreaking. I'm an old Bradford County boy. I hadn't been much farther north than Lawley, about as far south as Waldo. Figured I'd seen most of the world, at least the important parts. But y'all, what's going on here is a travesty to the American people, and it don't just affect the border. They're getting them on buses and planes, and they're sending them all over across America, and it's affecting every community with the drug flow, the illegals. It's a partisan issue. One party can't let the other party win. I'm not blaming anybody, but the people leading and take a stand for what's right and work for the American people, not the politics of it.
Hey,
Yeah.
not just the drugs, not just the human conditions, but the sex trafficking too that goes on with some
Human
of that.
trafficking, watching little kids, man. When you see little kids in these places, the way they're being treated. I'm here with the people that are being contracted to give testing, and one county's letting them do the vaccinations for free. Other counties not letting them do the vaccinations, and they're coming into America and just taking it. They're sick. They're going across America, spreading it. Our federal government is to blame.
Yes, it is. Well, when you start talking about that, you also have to start talking about the other diseases that they bring across too. We are so concerned right now about COVID, but what they really should be concerned about coming from some of those South American countries is not COVID, but I can't even speak right now. It's a resistant strain of tuberculosis is what it is, and the antibiotics doesn't work for it.
We talked about all that. There's not only that, the child trafficking, the sex trafficking, the drugs. I mean, today we were here in McAllen. They arrested a local border patrol, federal government border patrol agent for helping smuggle the drugs across. The cartel, the people being killed, the bodies, throwing little children in the river to put the resources to save the child while they're smuggling drugs across the other end. It is. I'm overwhelmed. My feelings and emotions are all over the place with how I'm supposed to feel, because I don't know. It's overwhelming. Really.
Yeah, Sheriff, like you said, you're from a small town where, we got our own issues too, and you're exactly right. But you get out and you venture out, and you hear these things on TV, and you see it through and then when you get down there and you lay hands and you see it, it becomes personal.
Mm-hmm.
It is, and I'm telling you, it's emotional. You can't even sleep in your room. I mean, your brain's running wild. You're trying to think, what is the answer? I mean, I don't know. I'm a little country boy from Bradford County. I don't know. But we had the problem, and y'all, it's a tragedy. It's really tragic to see what's going on in our country. And it seems like nobody, one side don't want to let the other side win, and the politics involved in it. And you talk with the agents, the border patrol, the federal, the ICE agents, and knowing the difference between ICE and border. I didn't know the difference. I don't deal with that every day.
Right.
You talk with the county officials, the sheriff's office, you talk with the police department, you talk with the government officials. It's all politics, and we got to quit doing politics, and it's got to be about the people.
Yeah.
I
Well,
agree.
so there is one easy way without walls, without fences, and without any of this to stop all of it, other than the drug trafficking. You're not going to stop drug trafficking with this. But the people that are wanting to come here, if you cut their aid off when they get inside of the United States until they become United States citizens, that stops.
Yeah.
I've been saying that for years.
Oh,
All you got to do is cut it off. You don't get any assistance.
Absolutely.
Children don't get any
and
assistance.
the people.
You can't
We're
go to
in a
schools.
town, a majority city with majority Hispanic, and they're telling you got to do something. The people got to earn it, or you don't appreciate what we have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Sheriff, we're looking at the map of where you're located. You're about 70, 75 miles west of Brownsville, putting about 100 miles or so from the Gulf of Mexico. Where you are at, is this expected? Is this kind of the ground zero for where a lot of the illegal crossings are happening, or is it a little bit further to the west and compared to, say, El Paso and that sort of thing?
We're at ground zero.
You are? Okay.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
McAllen's bad.
Unbelievable.
Because I'm Sheriff,
Y'all, I've never seen nothing like it.
you know, you're right across the river there from a little town called Reynosa, and
Yes, sir.
yeah, and I hadn't heard of this town until Michael just pulled it up, but I have seen the movie Sicario ventured right into this area that you're talking about. Started in McAllen and went over to Reynosa, and I was just wondering where it was at, and I didn't know it was directly across from McAllen. But I know that you watched that movie Sicario, and it dictates exactly what you're talking about.
It is. And you feel for the people. There are human beings. These are people. These are human beings. And, you know, and the drug traffickers and the cartel, they take advantage. And they know the federal system better than we do.
Yeah.
And they're not stupid people. And they're making fortune. They're getting rich and wealthy off of this, bringing them across the border, using children. They know what rules, every time the law changes, they know what they need to do. They have got a monopoly on it down here, and it's crazy.
Playing with them like political footballs is what they're doing.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we got our very own Sheriff Gordon Smith. He's down in McAllen, Texas right now, helping out the situation down there, what's going on, just trying to wrap his mind around what's going on. Sheriff, first of all, I hope you get back soon, number one. Number two, you need to come on with us. We need to talk some tornado football, don't we?
Oh, I'm so ready for tornado football. I can't wait. It just gave me goosebumps. I'm telling you.
I knew it.
My mind on something that matters, and that's football in our community, and to give the kids a chance to get away from the political side of it and go back to something they love. And people that play football love what they do, or any sports. They're out there, and that's what it's really all about. And people living their dreams, and I'm telling you, I'm excited for football season, man. It's we got a great year coming forward for the Tornadoes. I'm bragging to everybody down here.
Yes, sir. Hey, you're bragging on us down there, right?
Oh, you know I am. Hey, Bradford County, that's the heartbeat of Florida. Crossroads to America. Who wouldn't want to be us?
That's exactly right. Hey, what me and you have labeled and called the brand now. Bradford Tornado football is known everywhere now.
You got that right. I'm telling you, we're doing something, and we're making a difference, and that's what really counts is when you're making a difference in the lives of young people.
Austin, did you have something you want to say to Sheriff?
I want to say, Sheriff, we appreciate your work for keeping this county safe and letting me help you during hurricanes and tropical weather, even if we get our stray snowstorms. Be safe down there.
Hey, a snowstorm wouldn't feel so bad right now, better than the rain.
And I imagine it's a lot better than the heat where you are too.
If we get a snowstorm in August, we can officially say hell is froze over.
Dave, you want to say anything to the Sheriff?
Hello, Sheriff. I hope you're doing good.
Dave, I need a haircut when I get back, brother.
Yeah, I was wondering why I hadn't seen you. Now I know you're not even in town.
So real quick
We left out Sunday. I drove out with Sheriff Deloach and Sheriff Woods. We're fixing to pick him, and Sheriff Chitwood, part of the Sheriff's Task Force. You know, we're sending law enforcement to Texas and Arizona, and I'll meet some of the finest men and women that I get to work with and privileged. and honored to represent my community amongst some of the greatest in the country.
There you go. Real quick, for those of you that are tuned in and watching the show here, our producers put a map up on the screen so you can see it. In the top left, you see McAllen. And you can see that it's within a mile and a half or a couple miles from Reynosa, which is the town. And the squiggly line is the Rio Grande River, taking it all the way out to Brownsville and out to the Gulf of Mexico. So just to give you an idea, when Sheriff is talking about Ground Zero, he's talking about the area in extreme southern Texas, about 80 to 100 miles off the Gulf of Mexico. That's where it's going in. Not the area where the vice president made a PR appearance out near El Paso, I believe, for her little dog and pony
not
show.
Not much going on there.
Whoopsie. Right.
Yeah, well, that's because. Never mind, I'll stop.
Well, and look, and you know, we can talk about, and Juarez has got its own problems too.
That's true.
So, you know, I do want to ask the sheriff one other thing, real quick. Hey, is there some good steakhouses down there? Y'all been eating some good steak down there?
Well, actually, I'll be honest with you. I'm a Mexican connoisseur. We're fixing to head off to another one here that was recommended here at the hotel, one of the famous ones in McAllen, a real Mexican restaurant. So we've been trying it all day, last night to today. I'm going to eat everything Mexican I can eat.
I'm with you. Go ahead, baby.
Gordon, be safe down there, please. That's
Yes.
pretty much akin to a war zone.
Yeah.
Please be safe.
It is. It's you can hear the shots, you can hear the bullets. I mean, it's scary at times. I'm not going to lie, but I wanted to feel it. I wanted to feel it and see it firsthand. And I'm getting experience that an old Bradford County boy like me will probably never do again. But at least now I know what I'm talking about. I can say I've seen it, so I know what's going on.
There you go.
All right, wait, when you get back, make sure you get a hold of me and the boys so you can come on the show. We'll talk about this and definitely what just got you excited about some tornado football.
Yes, sir. Absolutely, brother. Love y'all. Y'all be safe, and I'll be home Friday.
Yep.
All right, Sheriff.
right.
Thank you,
See you
Sheriff.
Friday,
Appreciate
Sheriff.
you calling in. Wow. What a class.
Yes, sir.
God, what a dude, man. You know, viewing audience, if y'all don't know Sheriff Gordon, y'all, everybody knows Sheriff.
everybody knows the
But
Sheriff.
if you don't know Sheriff,
Yeah.
man, one of the most personalist dudes you'd ever want to meet. Come up and talk to you, shake your hand. He is just one of those guys, man, that you just want to do this to.
Absolutely.
You know,
brother.
he's a
He
brother,
is.
and he's a brother to this show, too.
And what I like about it is that if you didn't know he was sheriff, you could walk up to him, he'd have a conversation with you, everything's fine. And he's kind of a jack of all trades. For those of you that know what's happening in January, of course, Dave is going to be doing
Right.
the music for the reception. Sheriff Smith is going to be officiating my wedding.
That's an honor.
So I mean, and so this is he's just kind of an all over guy, and it's good to have that type of leadership when and he has said repeatedly nobody loves this county more than he does, and he proves it every day because he's going to where is now ground zero because he knows, like every other law enforcement agent around here, that what comes to Florida is making its way from Texas.
Yeah.
It's coming down Interstate 10. And that is the reason why he's out there, is because he's not just going out there for the photo op. He's not just going out there for a sightseeing tour. He's trying to learn everything he can so that he can turn around and bring that knowledge back to our state so that we can turn around and make our community safer.
If anybody knows Gordon like we do, you heard the voice inflection. Did you hear?
Yes.
Did you hear his voice inflection when he was talking about that? Gordon likes to goof and likes to talk tornado, and we're doing it.
Absolutely.
But when he was talking about that, his voice changed. There was a voice inflection there that really became like dead serious.
Well, you can't see something like what's going on at the border and not get like that.
That's true.
And
That's exactly right.
When you're involved in things that sheriff's involved with, he understands that they're using human beings for political gain is what they're doing.
Yep.
And just the conditions and the things that are going on down there, normal Americans don't see. And they don't look into it because a lot of people just don't want to know what is going on and the horrible things that are going on. You know, you talk to some of those people that have ranches right on the borders.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Yes. Go ahead and tell a little story about that.
What you'll hear these people say, at one point in time when these people were coming over, we used to feed them.
Used to.
We would feed them. They would come over half starved to death, and we would feed them.
Exactly right.
Now they're scared for their own lives because the drug cartels are basically bringing these people over the border in truckloads with drugs.
Right.
And they're being told by these drug cartels, if you do anything about it, we'll kill you and your families. And this doesn't get reported on. When it does get reported on, it quickly disappears. This has to be solved. And there's ways to solve it. There are definite ways to solve it, but you have to have the right people in power to solve the problem.
Right.
And we don't have those people in power right now. They want to use these people as political footballs. Oh, they'll vote for us if we just let them come over and do whatever. The other thing he was saying about coming down I-10 and coming this way, that's exactly what's happening. But guess who's bringing them down I-10?
Yeah.
Our federal government is bringing these people off of the border and shipping them to different states.
Correct.
Wow.
There was talk at one time that Ron DeSantis was going to stop that. I hope he does and tells them, no, you cannot do this. Now, would be a huge conflict between state and federal government because the federal government is supposed to be in control of immigration.
Correct.
But this is not immigration.
No.
This is illegal immigration. Because they're not coming over the way our system is designed to let people come over. And you can talk about it takes years, you can talk about it takes money, and talk about all of that. What do you want in this country? Do you want people coming in who will contribute to society? Or do you want people who will come in and vote for people who will let them in and give them what they want?
You're exactly right. And Donald was shaking his head when I said this, and I meant it. If you want a depiction of what the sheriff is seeing, and about as close as you can get, I know it's a movie, I know there's Hollywood theatrics, but the story, watch Sicario.
Yeah.
Sicario and Sicario 2. That's about as best. I mean, the second one, I think Sicario 2, happens right there in McAllen, Texas. The kid that they recruit to help him out, they got him out of dadgum local school. He worked in the mall there. Yes. And made him pretty much a human trafficker and drug dealer and everything else. But watch that movie Sicario. If y'all haven't seen that, ladies and gentlemen, that's about as closely depicted as what Byron and them were talking about and the sheriff was talking about. And at least it'll give you an idea.
Yeah, you know, there is ways to break these drug cartels. Our government can break them. They can break them if they want to, but they've got to solve the problem at the border with controlling the border. And half of the American population is not going to allow us to control them the way it should be controlled.
Right.
It's awful mighty hard for Border Patrol agents who have semi-automatic weapons to fight a group of people who pull up in military vehicles, Mexican military vehicles, and start shooting automatic weapons at them. That happens all the time. Then they run a bunch of people across the border while they're being covered by Mexican military weapons. And the Border Patrol agents can't do anything at all besides try to save their own lives.
Right.
It is an absolute mess. There are ways you solve it, and the way you solve it is you put pressure on the Mexican government to help you solve it. And you go about doing different things, and it was working better 2 years ago than it is now because people think that's wide open because that's what the party in power has told people.
Yeah.
Come here.
Byron.
And then don't come here. Really?
You know, this is a great subject. I'm glad that Gordon came on.
It's a human tragedy is what it is because you have people who want to make a better life for themselves, who can't make a better life for themselves, being used by drug cartels,
Right.
and being used by our political system.
Right. I'll tell you, let's this is a great topic that we can talk about. I know you had some things in your segment, but this is a great lead in probably to everything we're going to be talking about because it all ties in.
Sure.
So I do want, we hadn't got any chance to get to any local. Let's get to a couple of local stories, Michael.
I'll be really quick because I know Byron wants to jump back into it again like that. So a little bit of the what's the scoop for covering for your for this evening on behalf of Mitchell Gunner. Real quick, July the 24th, so coming up a week from Saturday, is the Downtown Merchants Jeep Show and Shine. Taking special pride in this one because I, amongst others, are Jeep owners. This evening at the City Commission meeting, it was passed on the consent agenda. We're expecting anywhere from 50 to 80 Jeeps to be on display on Call Street starting around 6 p.m. We're blocking off Call Street. We're going to have some good music, plenty of food from the restaurants around the area along Call Street, and a lot of Jeeps. So you're welcome to join us. It's going to be Saturday night, July 24th. So not this Saturday, the following Saturday. And it will be 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. All Jeeps are invited. Some of the folks are going to be gathering up east of the city on Call Street, kind of parading in here. There's really no entry. There's really not an entry fee. It's just a matter of you coming out and showing off and basically doing a show and shine. That's what it is. Showing off your vehicle that's all shined up. We're looking forward to that one. This is kind of a tie-in to what's going to be happening at the square throughout the rest of this year, and there's some major events coming up in 2022. Won't get into it now. Suffice it to say, a lot of work going on behind the scenes and a lot of really great music. I'll tease you with this. It's called the Second Saturday Series of 2022. Stay tuned for more information on that one. Hey, this Saturday at 10 a.m., the Red Dog Saloon, they're going to host a poker run for Fred Phillips. For those of you that know Fred, they were working on trying to put that together. A little bit of a fundraiser for him as well. Gainesville Raceway, Mitchell's home ground like that. They'll be back to racing. The Summit Racing ET Series this Saturday. Gates open at around 2 p.m. Track will be hot at 3. Some news out of the school district really quick here. Chip Chadwell has been hired as the new baseball coach.
Really?
Yes, he has.
Hey.
The Bradford County Education Foundation is pleased to announce the Leave a Legacy event scheduled for August 19th. It's going to be honoring and in memory of some educators who have made an impact on the community as well. Individuals include Olivia Scott and Jim Lewis, and there'll also be Inez Diggs and Jim Ward as well. There's going to be a county commission meeting scheduled for July 15th, 6:30 p.m. You'll want to make sure you try to turn out for that one. The meeting is going to be located at the Charlie Johns Conference Center, not at the courthouse. Why? Because it's probably going to be a packed house. Because, boy, let me tell you, one of the things that they're going to be talking about is talking about the budget, finance, presentations, and, of course, the hot topic is going to be fire rescue, as well as some other issues that's coming up here. Public Works is looking at an expansion. A lot of stuff that's happened as a result of ELSA, so they're trying to work that around real quick. For those of you interested, if you want to join.
Dave, come around here.
For those of you that are interested, real quick here, there were some roads that were closed due to flooding and damage. The Dean Loop Bridge on County Road 231 has reopened. That was they're working on that as well. And then, of course, County Road 237 coming out of Bradford into Alachua County. That's a good look for you. Probably would be better if it was.
I wanted to bring Dave in here. That's where that winner was pulled from, by the way. Good grief, what a head that was fat in that hat. I know. But anyway, sorry, brother. But anyway, Dave Holland on the spot with David Rodgers. Now, I won't be able to be there because I do host trivia. But our very own Dave Holland, you don't get a chance to see him. Dave, say hello to everybody.
Hello, everybody.
This man is going to be behind the camera at that meeting for you guys live.
Yes.
On the spot with David Rodgers. Will be airing that live for you. So I don't know what they were planning on doing, but I know what we're planning on doing.
That is
and that will be coming live to you at, what time was that again, Mike?
Meeting starts at 6:30.
6:30, so Dave will probably be going live around 6:20, 6:25, and he's going to bring you all the action, going to get as close as he can, but make sure you tune in to On the Spot with David Rodgers. I wanted to bring him in because he hardly ever gets any airtime, and he's always behind the camera, does a good job with everything that we do. Again, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Mr. Dave Holland.
Thank you.
All right.
It's a good look. I'm just saying.
God, I just don't know who's hip that.
Real quick, tonight was the City of Stark Commission meeting, and some kudos going out to the Sparks family. Of course, the owners of the Florida Twin Theater.
Yes.
Justin Sparks and his wife were both awarded special plaques from the City of Stark this evening at the commission meeting. Their efforts to beautify and maintain downtown Stark along Call Street, it's an ongoing effort. They are but two of a large group of members of the Downtown Merchants Association and members of the community, including the Chamber, that are working hard to not only beautify but to improve Call Street, the downtown area, and to bring in more businesses and more activities into downtown Stark. Commissioner Danny Nugent and Tommy Chastain were the ones that presented those awards.
All right.
Reminder, DoorDash food delivery is now available in Stark. You can download the DoorDash app
hungry.
to check about. Let's not get started with that.
Black and chicken Caesar salad, please.
Oh, man. Make it two.
I'm starving on that one as well. And then just to give you guys a little bit of an update on that as well. That's just scraping the surface. There's so much going on around the community. We're not going to delve into it because we're going to get back over to Byron. But we want to at least give you, and that is the scoop for this Tuesday night.
Just to add to the scoop a little bit, we are trying to work on some guests. Our very own Michael Heater is still trying to get Tim Tebow and or both Urban Meyer.
Correct.
Maybe what'd you say, Jeff Lageman?
We're trying to get Jeff Lageman in.
Look, I'm sorry. I love Tim Tebow. He's a class act. And
You'd rather hear Jeff?
Urban Meyer's Urban Meyer. I'm not saying any more about that.
Right.
Jeff Lageman. I want Jeff Lageman on
I do
the
too.
show.
I really do.
I want to talk to him about his experience as a player with Jacksonville.
Yes.
And then I'm going to get into hunting and fishing with him.
Yeah, and before you get to that, because I know he's 150, yes, he
big
is.
into that, too.
I want to ask him about his play-by-play stuff that he does, too. He's one of the best in the business.
He's great.
So as a connection there like that, his wife Tara and I used to work together when I was with Gainesville Fire Department, and she worked for TV20. So I've known Tara for years and that's the association there. She was very adamant about the fact that she is not going to influence Jeff to make the decision. But she was kind enough to at least give me the contact information. So we're going back and forth. I agree with you. I mean, Tebow is great. Spurrier is great. They're both doing their thing. Jeff is an amazing interview. If you've never seen Jeff Lageman on television, watch him. I follow them on Facebook. We chat back and forth like that. And every once in a while, he'll pull out this, he's been fishing and the Gulf's behind him and he's got this fish that's
She used to have a fishing report on
was it? Was it 4?
AM 900?
No.
That was 900.
I think it was AM 940 or something along those lines, whatever it was.
He used to have a spot on Channel 4, too, a little in the sports section.
It was on AM 600, the ball is what it was on, and they would do it. They did a Saturday show with him.
Right.
With Mr. Lamb, wasn't it? Wasn't David Lamb involved in that?
I think so.
I want to say David Lamb was involved.
Was involved in that. It's been a long time since I listened to the ball. But
what a name there from the past.
Well, there was a certain person on AM 600 the ball that I used to listen to all the time because he was really, really, really entertaining. And why his name is slipping my mind right now. But he was involved with Jacksonville, the Jaguars.
Yeah.
And then he went back up north, and then he came back and became involved with it again. And I'm trying to remember the guy's name. Can't.
So it'll hit you. A couple other things real quick here. For those of you that go to Fun Point, of course, the business has been closed for almost 2 weeks now. They reopened it tonight. They did a soft opening. If you haven't been there, check it out. They basically took the entire restaurant and turned it on its ear. There's now seating for 175 people, including handicapped accessible tables, which looks amazing. Nice. The area that used to be the restaurant is now the game room. A little snug in there, but plenty of room. All their games were able to fit, and they're in the process of updating the back room. They're going to be upgrading the pool tables, the dartboards, and the other games like that one. Great place to go. Don't forget Fun Point, one of our sponsors. Harry and Mickey Patel doing a good job with that one. Lastly, Strickland Scoops. Don't forget, if you get a chance to go out to join them, they have Food Truck Fridays coming out, and of course they have them out on Saturday nights as well. This particular Friday night, they're going to have some Pan-Asian cuisine. It's going to be going out like that one. So Strickland Scoop's located next to Home Sweet Bone, right off of Jefferson Street, off of Temple, downtown Chicago.
Two other guests, that maybe so. Two other guests that we're working on. Mitchell Gunner's trying to work on Tori Kittles. If y'all don't know Tori Kittles, Tori Kittles is a Bradford High School graduate. Went to school around the same time as Byron did. He is an actor out in Hollywood. He plays on the show The Equalizer with Queen Latifah. He's starred in other roles. We're trying to get him on the show. And I'm also working on a young lady. If y'all seen the movie Step Up, she played in that. And that's Brianna Evigan. If y'all know Greg Evigan.
I was saying Greg Evigan.
BJ and the Bear.
Yep.
If you ever seen that show, you need to go back and watch.
Great show.
But Brianna Evigan, you would know her in this movie. I guarantee you.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I'll leave it at that. We're trying to get her on the show. She's in Africa right now. She's really got this thing against poaching that she's really working on. And I think that's a great cause. Her and her partner are out there, and I forgot what part of Africa she is in now, but she's supposed to get a hold of me. Hopefully we can have her on the show. Maybe we can have her at least call in or something.
That'd be good. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe there's an election coming up in the city.
Oh, yes. Go ahead and tell them those.
I do believe so. Police Chief Jeff Johnson is scheduled to be on the show with us.
Next Tuesday, right?
It's Tuesday or Friday. I think
Tuesday or Friday, Dave?
Tuesday or Friday.
The 23rd.
Okay, so that's going to be on a Friday night show, the
Yep.
Friday the 23rd.
Yep.
Police Chief Jeff Johnson will be joining us. We're also finalizing plans for his opponent. Of course, we're going to have Bill Murray. We're trying to get him to lock in as well, whether it's the same night or a different night, but we are going to have the candidates for the city police chief election on the show to talk about law enforcement and public safety in the community.
And speaking one more candidate, Mark Rubio. We may also have Mark Rubio on the show as well. Mitchell's working on that. All right, great report.
I love to have Mark.
Yes, absolutely. I knew you would. That's why we were trying to keep it a secret from him, but we can't.
There you go.
All right,
Anyway.
thanks, man, for What's the Scoop.
Absolutely.
Byron, we got just a little bit of time left on the show. We'll give the rest of it to you here. Well, I know we just talked about a great topic. We had our great sheriff on. What do you have in mind? I know we talked about a couple of things.
The subjects that I was going to bring up, there's no way we can get it
Absolutely
really
not.
get into them tonight because there was 3 or 4 of them. One of them happens to be very close to anybody that was in the military. I'm hearing reports that the Fort Hood shooter is now being paid by the government, basically to live. And the people that were shot in the Fort Hood incident are not being paid because they're considering it a workplace violence.
Correct.
That is utter nonsense. The more I dig into it, the more I find that it's utter nonsense.
Austin, could you fill this up with Tennessee whiskey, please?
We will talk. We will talk some more of that. Thank you, Mom, by the way, for bringing that to my attention.
Yes.
Oh, by the way, I forgot. God, I'm sorry, Byron. Hi, Mom. Hi, Shirley. I didn't even acknowledge her on the
It's all
show.
right. Hello, Mom.
Hello, Mom. Hello, Donnie. I hope you're listening.
There you go.
Golly.
One of the other things I was going to talk about is all these travel restrictions and these things that people are asking to go places. This is something I actually got from my parents too. Dad told me a bunch of stuff that was going on with this app that they were being required to use to travel to begin with. When they did a little bit more poking into it, they were told, no, you didn't have to use the app.
Right.
But when you download this app, it gives you 2 statements. Number 1, if anybody gets any of your information from it, they're not responsible for it.
Oh, well.
Number 2, when you start reading this other statement, which is about 12 pages long, it starts talking about they're getting access to all of your medical records, not just your vaccine records, but all of your medical records. And this is the kicker. They have access to your IPN address from your computer, which means if anybody hacks into that, not only do they have your medical records,
They got your financial records. They got everything.
financial records and anything else you do on your computer.
Speaking of that, since I'm actually into tech and everything, that is an IP address. And,
Excuse me, not IP.
Yeah,
not IP, but yes, that is true. There are ways that, and Apple is combating that. Actually, matter of fact, with Private Relay, I want to clarify if anyone does have Apple devices coming in the fall, they're involving this iCloud Private Relay, which will mask your IP, but it's not a VPN network. It works through Safari and Apple's apps.
Here's the thing: if you agree to what I was talking about on that app, you agree to actually let them have access to that. It has nothing to do with it being masked by any computers, any Apple or Microsoft or anybody else.
Yeah.
You're agreeing to let them have your IP address.
And your average person will think it's mandatory when it's not.
The company my parents are traveling with actually told my father when he called them about this that he was the first person to say anything at all about that to them, period. Wow. For any of their trips anywhere, people are just clicking on stuff saying accept, because they want to travel, they want to go out and go places. Yeah. I'm telling you guys, you need to read everything that they're doing with this, because I'm gonna be honest with you. Them even asking to have access to all of your medical records is a violation of HIPAA. Is a violation of federal law, United States federal law.
Here's the thing.
But you give access to it.
That's the problem. It's not against the law for them to ask.
Right.
Well,
it's against the law for them to get it without your authorization. When you click accept, you give authorization. It becomes legal.
Yes. It becomes legal.
Yes.
Please, I think what Byron said, please watch
what you're doing and read these things, because I'm telling you, these people are going to take you for a ride if you do this.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So, and the app was called Verifly.
Yes.
Thank you. I looked into that too.
Don't. You can't get past the first step, because if you get past the first step of accepting that app, they will have access to everything that I just said.
Yeah,
I know.
I put it on my phone and looked at it and went, "Are you absolutely kidding me?"
And then they wonder why identity theft and everything's so rampant.
Yeah.
So, look, make sure you understand what you're doing if you're planning on traveling. We know everybody wants to get out. People are starting to do things again. If you're planning a trip outside of the United States, please make sure that you're doing what you need to do to protect yourself.
Right.
Yes.
Okay? That was the second thing that I was going to talk about. The third thing I was going to talk about is a little bit close and personal to me. I normally don't delve into local stuff that much, but I am personally having this experience. I guess it's been about 8 or 9 years ago, maybe 10 years ago, Clay County actually said that they were going to give its citizens garbage service and, of course, taxes for it. Well, what they did in the meantime is they continue to tax us for the dumps, which I was using before, which really ticked me off. I'm like, I can drive the mile and a half to the dump and throw my garbage in it for the amount of money you're talking about.
We didn't have an option. You had to accept it.
You had to accept it. Now what is happening, and this is happening all over Clay County, and I'm getting reports from different people on this, these people are not picking up the garbage. I've had it happen twice in the last 3 weeks to me. Once I was out in the yard and couldn't catch the guy before he'd taken off. They're driving right by people's garbage and not picking it up. Apparently they're having all sort of complaints. I've got to dig a little bit deeper into this and talk to some people that I know from the Clay County commissioners and figure out exactly what's going on. But apparently, if you live in Clay County, we're about to have a real issue with the garbage service because they're trying to get rid of the contract with them. Mm-hmm. The problem is becoming there's nobody big enough other than this company to service all of Clay County. So we are kind of stuck with people who don't care about
Byron, is this company
dollars.
Waste Pro?
No, it's advanced.
Is it under Advanced?
Yeah,
Let me tell you
Advanced.
We're and just a couple of
Just
seconds
hired a
here.
company out of Gainesville to take the slack.
Well, yeah, is that Boone or
I
whoever?
don't know, remember the name.
But anyway,
They'll be hiring
Boone's
another
Boone's
out of
here.
town.
Yeah, Boone's. Yeah.
Boone's here. That's Bradford. What?
We're having the same problem over in Lake City with commercial garbage and commercial dumping. Waste Pro has got the whole somatics there in that whole city and that whole county that we will call. My dumpsters will be absolutely full, David. I'm talking about from even our 20-yard roll-offs. Call them. Yeah, we'll get to you when we can. 2 or 3 days later, the garbage is all over the floor. This thing is packed so high. Now they get mad and said, well, why did you pack it so high? Because we called you and told you to come and
pick
get
it
it,
up.
and you didn't come get it. That's right. But they've got the wheelhouse on this. So who do you go get? You fire them, or you say, don't come back on my property. Who's coming to get it?
Now, here's what I am
And I
going
agree
to
with Byron.
personally do if I'm home, which I'm never home when they pick my garbage up. I'm almost always at work. I just happen to be home off the day that this happened with the garbage pickup. The next time I'm home and that happens, I'm getting in my truck. I'm going up the road. I'm getting in front of that garbage truck, and I'm going to tell him he's going to go back and get my garbage.
Nice.
Remember in New York when the garbage department went on strike, what that place looked like?
Oh, yeah. It looked like a war zone.
Man.
This is not a union. There are no
Right.
garbage unions in Clay County,
County.
or Bradford County or anywhere else. Here's the thing about this. They have Clay County and these surrounding counties in a position where they can't do anything about it, really, because there's not other people that they can cover. There's not enough trucks.
All right.
So they
Now
don't
they
care.
don't have employees due to COVID.
They don't.
That's why they can't come get our garbage.
They don't care. And
That's it.
look,
That's because they got the conglomeration on the whole damn thing.
That's
Hey,
true.
Welcome
That's
to
exactly
organized
right.
crime.
Crime. Thank you.
What he just said.
Yep.
Who owns the
Yeah.
trash disposal?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Here's the thing. There's something that has to be done about that.
We go back to taking it to the dump ourselves?
That's what I've had to do twice now. And I don't have an issue with it. I've never had an issue with it. It takes me all of 15 minutes to take my garbage to the dump and come back to the house. I didn't have a problem with it before. Then all of a sudden we have to pay for both. I had a problem with that because I'm like, it doesn't take me any time to drive to the dump.
Yeah.
It's
See, and that's
$600 a year.
Yeah. So I'll keep everybody posted up
Please.
and updated about what's going on with that as soon as I can figure out some more things about it.
and I will say this: that I'm aware that there's been some issues in the city of Stark with the transition to a new garbage pickup service. However, it is improving, and we'll find out. Of course, Mitchell will have the latest on that.
I can tell you somebody who's had problems with it in Bradford County too.
Yeah.
Hey, Mom.
Hey, Mom. Yeah.
But I just wanted to talk a little bit about that because it's a little bit out of the normal realm. We don't talk about Clay County a whole lot, and that's one of the things that's going on in Clay County
That's
right
a
now.
good call.
So I wanted to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah.
Gordon actually went into another thing I wanted to talk about tonight. And it really wasn't the border issue.
No.
It was the fact that we had state congresspeople from Texas that used state tax dollars to go party in
Yeah.
Washington, D.C.
I think he sort of said
I
something to that effect.
really hope that when they come back, that the Texas Rangers are at the airport to greet them. I hope they're put in the back of black Chevys.
Yeah.
The Suburbans.
Yeah.
And I hope they're taken directly to state jail and they don't get out. Because-
of that happening.
Would Greg Abbott?
Yeah, could happen.
Could have.
The key thing to remember though is that and because Abbott has the authority to do that one, but it's only within the state of Texas. They can't extradite him from Washington. Otherwise, he
Correct.
would do that if he could.
Well, and I think what you were saying for them to fly back
Yeah, when
in.
they fly back,
Here's the problem.
he could do that.
Here's the problem.
He could have.
That the actual what they're doing is they're stopping that state government from functioning.
That's
Yeah.
Okay, and that's a crime. You can't. That's called. I can't remember what it's called right now, but it is a state crime. Okay, so what ends up happening is that session doesn't happen, and that what's in that session is a bill that's basically changing the voter laws to require ID and some other things that are not so offensive to some people. There's some things in it about early voting. There's some things in about not being able to send mail-in ballots just to everyone. People have to request them. There's some different things like that in this state bill. It's designed to protect voters.
But it's interesting, though, Byron, because from what I was reading, and correct me if I'm wrong here, a lot of the Democrats are accusing Governor Abbott and the Republicans that this is actually they're being almost racially motivated, that they're discriminating against the population because of the fact that they won't be able to vote because of these regulations.
Okay. I'm sorry. I don't care what color you are. If you don't find it offensive to have somebody say that you're so dumb that you can't drive or have somebody drive you or get on the internet and register to vote, you need to seriously take a look at what party you're supporting, because that is offensive as crap.
That's right.
And that makes me furious.
Me too.
Because they're sitting there looking at you, telling you you're too dumb to sign up to vote.
That's right.
And also they're saying another thing about people that live out in the countryside, that they are so out in the country that they can't get to go and vote.
Who doesn't have one of these now?
Everybody has one of these.
I mean, grandmothers have these.
Yeah.
I mean, they may not know how to get that, but I can guarantee you, grandmothers know how to go sign a voter registration.
I can tell you right now, grandmothers are watching this show right now.
That's true.
It's offensive.
If you're on
It's just
Facebook,
straight offensive. Forget the party. Forget your parties. Think about what these people are saying to you. They are saying to you, you are so dumb that you can't register to vote.
Right.
I just...
That's another intimidation factor that they like to use to be able to control a result of an election.
Well, and all of this stuff, you're being racist. I am so sick and tired of hearing that. I could give a crap less what these people call me or Republicans or anybody for that matter anymore, because they're lying through their teeth.
Right.
They're liars. They're liars, period. So you sit back and you watch them. Oh, it's racist. Please tell me how wanting somebody to register to vote and vote on time is racist. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. To show ID. And by the way, these state congressmen or senators, I think it may have been state senators, to tell you the honest truth, from Texas, guess what they had to do? They had to show ID to get on that plane.
Exactly right.
How is that racist? It wasn't too racist when you got on the charter plane, because you still have to do that by federal law. You had to do it.
How about when you fly? Okay, let me just turn the tables. How about when you fly commercially?
You have to show your rights.
Well, wait a minute. I don't see where it says this color has to go here. I think, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm not dumb, isn't this everybody?
Everybody.
It's everybody. Everybody.
They
Color, creed, religion. You have to check in through TSA. You have to show a valid ID. Or guess what? You're not getting on that damn plane.
Guess what else? If the person that sold them that alcohol asked for an ID to buy that beer that was in that picture, Miller Lite, I can't believe senators in Texas are buying Miller Lite.
That's another
Texas
topic.
has a state beer, by the way.
Yes, it does.
You might want to think about that, Texans. They had to show their ID for that. Is that racist? This is ridiculous. It's utterly ridiculous. It's all it is political nonsense. But, I wanted to talk a little bit about that. I really hope Greg Abbott throws these fools in jail when they land back in Texas, and they keep them there, and they reformulate the number for the quorum, and they actually have this meeting, and they pass that law, and they redistrict the places that are gerrymandered because the Democrats gerrymandered them, and they fix their little red wagon so they never, ever, ever have the same problem again. They also need to pass a law saying that you can never participate in state government if you try to pull this type of stunt again. Right. Now, some people are going to say Republicans did it too. Yes, Republicans did this too. Yeah. Yes, they did. It's true. They sure did. But guess what? When they come back, they actually formed the quorum before the session was actually up. There was so much political pressure put on them from the mainstream media that they came back.
Right.
You're not hearing anything about this. You will not hear it on CBS, NBC,
CNN, or
God. No, you will definitely not hear it from CNN and MSNBC. You won't hear it from anybody about what's going on with that. Maybe Fox, Newsmax, and OAN. You may hear it from them. Fox, I'm not so sure about anymore. But this, and it really doesn't matter which party it's coming from. If you actually interfere with the function of a state government,
true,
they should throw you in jail. Just bottom line, and whether you're a politician or whether you are a person, if you're interfering with our governmental function, you should land your rear end in jail.
Boy, Byron, I tell you, hey, this has been a great show so far. But I want you to read that little deal right there before we close down the show. We could keep going for hours and hours and hours.
Sure we can.
And this could lead into other subjects. But I'm gonna tell you what, that was some great topics you brought up. And I want to just take it around the table real quick after Byron reads that little thing there.
I want to tell everybody one more thing. I hope all of you ladies and gentlemen, patriots and infidels and miscreants, have a great night. And that is the World Report. I'm the Byron Bagwell, and we will be right back with final comments.
There you go.
And welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, what a great... You like that, huh?
Smooth.
That was smooth. I do want to... Man, there was a lot of great comments that came through while you were doing this, but I do want to read one. Breaking sporting news out of Charlotte Speedway. Brody Gunner started 15th tonight and finished 6th. In the On the Spot with David Rodgers sponsored Legend car.
Cool.
And they said, man, it looked good going around the track.
Outstanding.
Shirley Bagwell says she didn't use that. She did not. And you told me that.
And she called it, yeah.
All right. Let me see. Donnie Wiggs. I went to loves a guy, asked me if I needed a mask. He said, nope, I'm not a ninja. All right. Anyway, yeah. All right, Donnie, I appreciate it. Whoa! Yeah. Brittany Leanne was watching. Did you say hello to Brittany?
I did not.
Yeah, she's watching.
Hello, Brittany.
Hi, Bear.
Yep. Somebody said you were talking about, hey, Bobby, how you doing, brother? Hope to see you at the reunion. He said that y'all have a advance, I guess, isn't it? Clay? He's saying advance. Is that who y'all have? Whoever it is.
The trash company?
Yeah.
Advanced disposal.
Advanced disposal, right. David says the word is a filibuster. They are in a sense filibustering by leaving the state to avoid their state constitutional duty. Absolutely, I agree.
No, I mean it's
sort of.
It's kind of it's a twist on it, but yeah, I mean that's it. I mean in a way that's what they've done. They've locked down state government because they don't have a quorum because of the minimum number required.
Right.
More than them have taken off to D.C. to try to stop the process.
Yeah, but if you're going to filibuster something, wouldn't it actually require you be in the building filibustering it?
Well, yeah, but the point is that they've still locked down any movement by their actions.
Yeah, well, and see, I understand. I understand where it can be taken as that,
Right.
but you leave the state.
Donnie Wiggs said, according to Greg Abbott, he said they are getting arrested.
Good.
Good.
Good. We'll report that too when we
Absolutely.
have a chance. There was one more that I wanted to read, and of course, we always want to give thanks because they give us as well. Ray J from Hot Topics with Z and Tuck, along with Team Endless Empire. They've got them some new names as well, and the Got Your Six Network. That's the guy that does their interviewing for all their guests. They've really revamped their show. If you haven't seen it lately, ladies and gentlemen, you need to go back and watch it. They've got several episodes on as well. The only problem is if you want to watch it live, it's 10:30 our time, pretty late. So 7:30 out there for them. But you can go back and catch them again. That's Hot Topics with Z and Tuck. They're always giving a shout out each and every show. Want to do the same for them. God bless you guys.
Oh, yeah.
And we thank everything that you do. On behalf of Mr. Byron Bagwell, Mr. Austin Stevens, Mr. Dave Holland, Mr. Michael Heater, the missing Mitchell Gunner, God bless you guys. Have a great one.
Good night.
Tune in next Tuesday as we'll have another great show for you. And Miscreants.
And miscreants.
Yeah.